Hello everyone, welcome to Clashing Coder. So in this video, I will tell you my interview experience with the TCS for the virtual interview. So actually I got the mail on 24th September at 2:40 p.m. that my interview has been scheduled for 25th September at 10 a.m. and the time slot was given, that was from 10 to 2, but my interview actually started at 10 only. The time slot that says at 10 to 2, that means that if for example you miss your slot at the 10, then you can give your interview between 10 to 2 by asking them or so actually I was I read on the net that they will be calling us when our interview will be starting, that you should join the room or on the Microsoft Teams or the lobby, that you should be ready. But in my case I was waiting till 10:15, but they didn't call me, so I had to join myself. I requested several times by sending the request for joining, but they didn't accept. But at last at 10:15, they entered me into the let me enter into the this Microsoft Teams this window, and then what happened was there were many requests coming for joining in the interview. So on my screen also it was showing that this person is requesting to join this lobby on this person, but actually the interview my interview was first, so others had to wait. So my interview started, and there were 4 interviews actually I saw. So there were 4 interviews. So first interviewer was a male. So he just saw my resume, and he asked if this is your first virtual interview, or you have given more virtual interviews before. So I told him that this is my second virtual interview. So now he asked me to why not you should introduce yourself. So he asked me to indirectly introduce myself, so I had to introduce myself. So I told all the points that I had made. So I introduced myself. Then he asked me, he saw my grades, that actually in my college grades, so I have above 87% aggregate till 6th semester. So he talked about that you have university ranks, yeah, good. So that's why what we discussed for first 5 minutes. Then what happened was he saw my projects, and he said that you have done various interesting projects, so why not you explain your projects in detail. So then I started explaining my projects. First question was introduce yourself. Then he asked me to explain my projects. So when I started explaining my projects, I explained 2 projects. Then he stopped me when I was going to explain the third one. He stopped me, and he asked me to he gave me a situation. Actually he told me that for example, I have made an app in Watermeter app, actually in Flutter. So it was an Android and iOS based app. So he asked me if your app is app is supported on the Android or the smartwatch. So I told him no. So he told me to imagine that your app supports smartwatch. So if your app is in smartwatch and its brightness is to 0%, and you have muted the smartwatch, so how will you get to know that it is sending you a message that you have to drink water? And it is basically fitness app so it sends various notifications. So he asked me what should you do in this case. So I told him that we will simply connect when I will make the app, so I will simply connect the app from the smartwatch to the phone. Mobile will also contain this app, and smartwatch will also contain this app. So as you were saying, most of the watches, that fitness bands, they have mostly the apps in the mobile phone installed, so they send the data to the mobile phone app. Then we can simply see the statistics from that app. So I told him that, and I also told him that watch will be muted, but the vibration sensor may be there in the watch, so that vibration sensor can also tell the person that it is the time to drink water. So vibration sensor is it will be on your wrist, so you will be easily able to notice that. So that was the answer. So he was satisfied with the answer, and he told great. He didn't ask me about the implementation actually, but the approach, the idea that I will use. So these were the 3 questions asked by him. Then he passed on the turn to the second interviewer, which was ma'am. So she asked me first of all why you use this technology, that is Flutter, because I made all apps in the Flutter. So and she asked that why not other technologies, and what are its advantages. So I talked about the Flutter and why I use it, because it is a Google framework and it was new actually at that time. And she indirectly asked me why you tend to use React Native, Android, and all that stuff. So I told her according to me what I thought was right. Then she asked me some questions about the Flutter. So she asked me what is stateless and difference between stateless and stateful widget, and some of the widgets, and some async and async and await, what are those keywords. Then this took actually 5 minutes, and then she simply opened the she started sharing her screen and simply opened the Codevita questions that I had submitted. So I had done solved two questions. The third question was actually submitted on the public cases only. So that's why she asked me the second question, which was actually minimum path graph. So she opened my code and asked me to explain the code line by line, or every function of the code. So she also gave me the time to read the question. She showed the question also, so I can recall the question. Then I was shown the solution also actually on that only. So you don't have to cram your solution. If interviewer is good enough, so he or she will be showing you the code also, and then you have to explain the code. Actually, when I wrote the code and submitted the code, I have I have habit to comment which like case is doing what. So I have commented my code, so that made me easy to make them understand also what my code is doing, because I have given the example for every case. Like if this is base condition, then what input should it get to give the passes base condition and all that. So I like took 10 minutes to explain the code, not 10 minutes actually, 5 minutes only. So 5 minutes to explain all the code, and I was asking her that if she is understanding or not, so to make the communication two-way. So that's why then she was satisfied with the Codevita question, and she asked only one question to me, to solve one question only. Then what she did was, she asked me to open a IDE or a notepad. If you have IDE, she said if you have IDE, so it would be better. So she opened a slide which was having basically 2 to 3 questions. One was related to anagram, and one was, I don't remember actually, to array. So she asked me to code that question. So I thought, why not to open IDE only. So I opened IDE and shared the code, this screen. Then I write it. I actually solved the questions in Python in Codevita, but now I coded in C++. So I gave her the reason why I did so. So now for this question she asked me anagram, write the program for anagram. So it was having some twist, and which yeah, some easy one actually, anyone can do that. Then I had to code it. So I coded it and I explained it step by step. When I was doing it, I explained the time complexity. I also told the optimization that I can do. But yeah, she was not asking much questions. She said it's a great code, and yeah, she like passed on to the next interview, and she was satisfied with my answers. Now third interviewer was a male. So he directly asked me if like TCS has many various offices in all over the world. So he said that you live in Punjab. So actually the nearest office that TCS has near you is Delhi. So will you like to reallocate to Delhi or the nearest office? Or he didn't told that you have to reallocate to Delhi. He told that if you have to reallocate to Kathmandu or like some places like that in the south. So he asked that, and I told him yes, I can reallocate, and I gave him an example because I have studied in Aurangabad, Maharashtra till 10th, like till 10th for 5 years, like from 5th to 10th. So I told him that I am pretty much comfortable with studying like on that, or working or reallocating. So I told him the reason and all that, the story behind it. I actually made a story and told him, not fake but original story, but told him. So he was satisfied. Then he asked me, he also asked me how many virtual interviews have you given. So I told him that yeah, one interview I've given before it. So then he asked me, if you are given offer from other company, then why will you join TCS? So this was like you have to you will be prepared for this answer, because it is similar to why you want to join this TCS. So actually this is the same question again. You will again, why you want to join TCS. Actually I don't remember if he told this again or not, but yeah, he asked me 2 times that why you want to join TCS. So I told him that TCS is actually the Tata like company. So I really am like fascinated to join TCS, because I really feel proud that it is a like Ratan Tata's company. So it is really a good company. And I told him example about Jaguar and Land Rover, that whenever I watch the videos, and like I feel like proud that Tata owns them and all that stuff. So you can like talk them accordingly. And if you are wondering where are the C++ or OOPS questions or the questions asked, but actually in my interview I was lucky enough that they didn't ask me single question about C++ or OOPS or Python or any that like DBMS or any technical question. I was prepared pretty much well for those questions, but they didn't ask me. So I am like feeling that my interview is incomplete. But yeah, I gave my best, and what they asked I told them. but yeah, it was unexpected that they didn't ask about the technical questions that much. So then he told me, if you can you have to implement a machine learning algorithm, or you have to make some like machine learning algorithm in which things in your real life that you use, you want to implement the machine learning in it. So I gave him example about something related to mobile phone and something related to medicines or something like that. So you have to basically like think of the examples at that time, because I have made the projects in machine learning also, and I have also integrated machine learning in my Python, machine learning with Python in my Flutter applications. So he asked me into the machine learning question that's why, but he didn't ask me about the algorithm or something like that, nothing. He simply asked a general question. So this was it for him, and now he left the interview actually. So then he left the interview. Then fourth interviewer joined after he left. So the first interview then asked me a question, do you have any questions for us, while they were leaving and joining. So he asked me, do you have any questions for us. So I talked about like as I told you, like why I want to join TCS, because they have a really wide scope of the projects, they use all the latest technologies. So I asked him, is that like if I want to work in on particular technology at the starting only when I join, so will I be assigned the project on that. So he started me telling about, briefing me about what are the processes and all that stuff. So he took like 5 minutes about explaining them. Then was the fourth interview. So she like fourth interview was a ma'am. So she asked me that you need to verify your marks and show your ID proof in the camera. So I like showed them my Aadhaar card proof in the web camera. Actually you have to like make sure that it is not blurred. Actually my Aadhaar card was blurring on the web camera when I was sharing. So that is you have to keep in mind. So they need to like they click your photo. And she also asked like if you have the soft copies of your mark sheets, and she also asked for the backlogs. So these were the three questions that she had to verify before. I think she was a like manager or something, managerial or something like that. So she asked me about this. And then she was and the third interviewer actually was also HR. So he asked me the basic question. You can see, are you want how you want to reallocate, have you want like all the stuff, like have you given virtual interviews, all that, and why you want to join TCS. Now the fourth interviewer was actually like first I thought that my interview is over. So she asked me your marks and all that. So she said great, and I think it is over. But actually she also asked some questions. So she said, which is the best coding company according to you. So I told her that according to me, I thought for like 30 seconds. Then I told that Google is the best coding company according to me. And she asked why. So I also she also asked why, and I gave the reason why Google is best according to me. It may differ according to others. So I simply gave the like answer that they have a really good like people working for them. They have a really good algorithmic skills or whatever. I told them like problem solving skills. So I also told them about many real life examples. Then she asked me why you want to TCS and not the company that you feel is the best. So at that time she was indirectly asking me, then why you are joining TCS if you think that Google is better than TCS. So actually yeah, if I say well, like Google is really better than TCS, but I thought like why she asked me why you want to join TCS instead of Google. So I told her that the TCS is the Tata's group. So that's why the main thing that I told her was I told him directly that I have told before only that I want to join a company. I want to work in a Tata's company because I really feel proud that Ratan Tata owns it, and he's a really polite and gentleman. So I told her that and all that like stories whatever I had to make at that time. So she was pretty much impressed with that. And when I like was about to end the interview, I forgot to tell her that I have a YouTube channel also. So all the interviewers. So then I told them that I have also YouTube channel. So I explained about that I make programming videos and all that stuff and all that. So she asked me about how you make these videos and all that. So this like stretched the interview 10 minutes more, and this like really gave them the good impression though. So they said that it is great. Then I asked the first interview asked me again, do you have any question or more question for us. So I asked him directly that when will be our results coming out or something like that. I asked him sorry. Then I also asked him whether all the students who have scored the rank will get a call, like TCS call for interview or not. So he told that it is not it cannot be disclosed. So actually the students should be he told that tell them to go to TCS portal and send the mail from there. So that was it, and this was my interview actually, the whole interview experience, and it was not that much technical actually, more of the HR stuff was there. And at the starting they asked me the Codevita questions and the projects and the technology related questions, nothing about machine learning. I have also wrote machine learning in my resume, Dart, Flutter, and Python, C++, and Git, and everything that I know. But they didn't ask me about any technology or something like that, so like into deep or depth. They just ended the interview, then they asked me to leave, you can leave now, and results will be out, and all the best. So this was my interview experience, guys, and I hope you like this, and do like this channel and subscribe this channel, and I will keep updating you of the what I get to know about the Codevita. And yeah, you should you should not take it as granted that you will not be asked about oops concept, C++ concept. So can be asked about that, so you should prepare oops, C++, DBMS. So actually I will write also the topics that you should prepare. Actually you should prepare DBMS, the queries, actually the joins. So they ask you, they don't ask you directly about joins, they ask you, you are given two tables and like 2 or 3 tables, so you have to find something from that, and so you have to basically use a join. So they ask you indirectly joins. So they ask you about normalization also, C++, and you should also prepare for oops, and also about the real life example of oops. So what encapsulation is used in real life. So I had thought the examples about that using a mobile phone and all that electronic gadgets. So you should also have a pretty much real life examples for the oops concept. Then you should prepare, if you have written Python, so you should prepare basic function of Python and machine learning. Actually I prepared some like confusion matrix and all that basic stuff, not the algorithms also all, but the basic stuff that I had used and the technology that you have used. So you should surely prepare for that. Okay, and technology I'm not writing because you know that you have to prepare for it, and you should also prepare a good introduction for yourself, so they feel like pretty much impressed at beforehand and only. So these are the subjects, main subjects that you should study. And about CN, like algorithms also, the basic coding questions, yeah, basic coding questions you should also like study. So you can find videos on the internet about or the YouTube about the other people's interview experience. So I have also watched all of them. So they were some of them were asked with the like oops concept, DBMS, Python. On you should also be familiar with which technologies are used like in nowadays, like data science and AI, machine learning, IoT, and blockchain, etc. So and cloud computing, you should prepare from them. If I remember correctly, the third interviewer also asked me about the technologies that are being used during this pandemic. So I told him about data science and IoT and all that stuff. So these were the question actually, and this was it, guys. And I hope you like this video, and if you feel any you have any question, you can comment down below and I will probably answer it in time. So thank you for watching, guys. Do subscribe the channel.